Hello everyone, let us look at this particular position. It is black to play and win. Pause the video and figure out the solution yourself. So, in this position, we can see that white has an extra bishop, but white's king is far away from these pawns. And the idea is to overload this bishop from the defense of this h2 square and then push this pawn towards queening, because the pawn on h3 is just 2 steps away from queening. So, keeping that in mind, black plays his move pawn to e5. Now the threat is pawn to e4, f takes e4, f takes e4, and pawn to e3 in order to overload this bishop. So let's run a sample line. Let's say white plays his pawn to b4, black pushes e4, takes, takes. Let's say any move b5, and now we have pawn to e3. Now if you look at this bishop cannot guard both the queening of this pawn and this pawn. If this bishop takes this pawn on e3, then the pawn promotes via h2 and h1 queen. So this is how we can overload this bishop. Moving back to the original position. After the move pawn to e5, white responds with king to b2, trying to stop the pawn by using his king. Okay, black plays pawn to e4. White captures this pawn. Now, should you capture this pawn back? No. Why? Because let's say if black takes this pawn on e4, then white can simply play something like pawn to b4. And now if I try to push this pawn to overload this bishop, white's king is just in time to stop my pawn from queening. And now white is completely winning because he has this extra pawn. So after you play pawn to e4 and white takes, you do not capture back. You push your pawn to f4. And now if white tries to chase this pawn, then you simply capture this pawn on b3. White has to recapture back, and then you push your pawn. And if white tries to chase it back, then you play pawn to f2, and this bishop is under attack. This pawn has two ways of queening, and if you take bishop takes f2, then this pawn pushes forward and there is no way to stop h1 queen. So if you enjoyed this puzzle, make sure you like this video, subscribe to my channel MedChess for more such amazing tactics, and I'll see you there. Bye bye.